to choose a domain name can be tough, so it may be beneficial to spend some time answering a few questions about your company before naming it. Before we get going though, would you please help our channel by liking and sharing this article and subscribing to our channel and ringing that notifications bell? Thanks, we appreciate it. Now, let's talk about how to choose domain names. First and foremost, what is the goal of your website? In the digital age, your website is your major means of marketing your business. To compete with larger corporations, you must have a superb website that represents the quality of your business. However, before anyone can access your website, they must first know where it's located. In a website address, the domain name is the term that appears before the period. So you have your www and .example. That's your name in this particular example. The domain name informs potential clients about the location and purpose of the website. You want to drive traffic to your website by including your domain name on all marketing materials that you make. And that can include business cards, booklets, and more. Anytime you have an opportunity to get your name out there, you need to take advantage of that. So how will you use your domain? It's not unusual for people to invest in domains only for the intention of reselling them for a profit. They call that flipping. And this is frequently done without assessing if the domain name has any genuine commercial worth. When buying a domain, think about what you're getting, how you'll utilize it, and what the prospective market worth may be. Are you flipping or are you building an online asset? Where might potential customers see your domain name? Well, on organic search results, such as on Bing, Yahoo, and Google search engines, advertising using pay-per-click, on your email or signatures on forums that you visit and make comments, video campaigns on YouTube's, or video marketing on any media. There are numerous media for putting up videos. Newspapers, direct mail, business cards, magazines, all examples of offline advertising. People don't think about that too much anymore, but you can still put your name out there. Steps to choosing the right domain name. Searching through multiple domain names might be a difficult undertaking. Because there are so many options, it's critical to understand what factors to consider when selecting a domain name, like the sector you're in, the important keywords linked with your site, and whether you want a shorter or longer domain name. Many factors will come into play when you investigate domain names for your business. How do you go about selecting the best? Here come the top 10 tips on how to choose a domain name. Top 10 plus 2 domain tips. Continue to use .com. .com is the granddaddy of them all. Nowadays, there are all kinds of designer extensions such as .team, .club, .you name it, and you can find it. But Google likes .com and users are conditioned to .com, so make sure you go with .com as well. I would suggest if the domain name that you really like is taken by somebody else, you could go, my special domain name .net or .org. Those ones are a little more accepted now than some of these other designer endings. In your domain name search, use keywords. Now, this isn't crucial, but every bit does help. Having your keyword in your domain name will help with SEO. Not a ton, but it will help. Be prepared, however, to find that many of your keywords have already been scooped up by others. They're in the same niche as you, so, dogwalkers.com, well, good luck with that one. But you might be able to find something. If you're creative, you can incorporate it into something closer to what you want. Maybe you can use the name of your city, DallasDogwalkers.com, something along those lines. Keep your domain name as brief as possible. Short, pithy, to the point, easy to remember, and you want to be remembered, right? Make it simple to say and spell. Again, to be memorable, you have to be easy to remember. And no crazy spellings. Keep that simple as well. Don't make up some things that nobody's ever going to figure out. Try to be basic, no crazy spellings. Keep it distinct and brandable. Look at Amazon.com. Wow, can't get any better than that. Now, we're not all going to have an Amazon, but we can do the best we can and try to come up with something like that. Avoid using hyphens in domain names. It's just too easy for visitors to forget about those hyphens, and you may end up sending them to the competitor site that you tried to emulate by using the hyphens. Dogwalkers.com. If you have dog-walkers.com, people are going to forget the hyphen, and it's going to go to Dogwalkers, and away goes your traffic. Avoid using duplicated letters. I have a site with 2 S's in the domain name, and I don't need visitors for the site, but I needed the name for my business. I'm not saying like the word like success. Of course, it's got S's and C's that double up. I'm talking about two words that are different. A different word with an S and another word with an S. It just doesn't work. So try to avoid that. I wouldn't double down on the S's in my case. Too easy to misspell. Ha, there's a joke for you. Allow for future growth. If you use a name like ryebreadrecipes.com, you're being very specific, and most gurus will tell you that's great, which it is. I mean, it is. However, if later on your blog morphs into something different, like you expand into healthy breads, now you're going to have a conflict. Just be aware that you can paint yourself into a corner with an overly specific name. Look into your domain name. You need to perform due diligence to help avoid legal issues down the road. I had a domain name. It was GoProvid.com. I thought that's pretty cool, but I thought about it later. That's a bit too close to GoPro.com, so I didn't use it. And it's not as if GoPro would ever see me as a competitor, but those big companies see everybody as a competitor, and they don't discriminate. So be careful out there. Don't start something and then find that you're going to get a call and say, "Hey, that's you're using our name, or it's too close to our copyright, or whatever." Use domain generators to come up with interesting concepts. So this is kind of fun to do. A domain generator, it's a program, gives you all kinds of excellent ideas. You have to put in your variable keywords and then just let it go. It's going to give you lots of different ideas, and you can choose from them. Popular domain generators include Nameboy, WPS Free Business Name Generator. Is it WP Name Generator? Give them a try, see what they come up with, and yeah, they're kind of fun. Act immediately before it's taken by somebody else. If you love it, buy it. You can register for a year, and if you change your plans, you can always let it go. Most names can be registered for around $10, so it's not a huge investment. But if you see something you like, snag it. Because if you think it's the perfect domain for you, chances are someone else feels the same way. So don't hesitate. Snap it up. It's not like you're buying a condo. It's only $10. Take a chance. Get a free domain when signing up for hosting. See the above. I'm not sure if Bluehost and SiteGround are still doing it, but many hosting solution companies will give you a free domain when you register for their services. Yeah, geez, this is getting complicated. There's a lot to it, I know, especially if you're just learning about it for the first time. I have articles on these things at nethostingplans.com, and talk about web hosting guides for beginners and hosting services. If you want some more information, go there. There's lots for you. From whom should you buy a domain name? Well, there are a lot of domain registries out there. Many hosting companies sell domain names as well. I'm using Bluehost and I've used SiteGround, and they both sold domain names as an upsell to their hosting businesses. GoDaddy.com and Namecheap.com are probably the two most recognizable domain sellers. And they also upsell into hosting and web building, kind of the reverse of what Bluehost and SiteGround is doing, because there's money in it. I buy mostly from Namecheap now, as I find they are definitely the cheapest. They give you a free privacy. They give you free privacy, rather. You can see that below. Domain registration is often not costly, and in some situations is absolutely free. And domain sellers will give you lots of add-on options such as automatic renewal, etc. Do you require privacy in your domain? They can offer that as well. Just be aware that usually you sign up cheap first year, next year they charge you more for these domains. So privacy in domain names. Why would I want my domain name to be private? Well, if your site offers something that you don't want the world to know about, you should utilize a private domain register. And it's not simply the content of your website. Domain registrars make it less evident which website is yours. This is useful if you want to keep your activities private and prevent sharing your data with third parties. There are other reasons why privacy in a domain name is crucial in today's environment. Where we live here in North America, it's pretty nice. We don't have to deal with oppressive regimes, but if you're living under one, one of the most essential reasons to avoid discovery by government monitoring is to have privacy on your domain. Another motive is to safeguard a company's proprietary information from competitors who would not hesitate to leak it to acquire a competitive edge. It is conceivable that you don't want to disclose your personal information with the rest of the world, in which case privacy privileges added to your domain name can assist. Without an address, it's hard for someone to find out who lives at your residence or where you work. So to sum it all up, there is a lot that goes into choosing a domain name. Our video hopefully has given you a good place to start thinking about how you wish to proceed with your own domain name. And to make this even more interesting, I'll leave you with this. I suggest you visit the website expireddomains.net. There you will find thousands of domain names that previous owners have let expire, and you can search for them according to any keywords that you'd like. You can search for a birth date, backlinks, search engine crawls, you name it. And all of this can be the topic of another article. There's a lot to it, but do take the time to visit expireddomains.net and see what you can come up with. You change your search parameters and on the filter, and it's pretty easy to operate, fairly intuitive. Give it a shot. An older established domain name is favored by Google, so it may be worth your while to search for a diamond in the rough. And it's kind of fun. Before you go, remember please, if you wouldn't mind, like and share our video and subscribe to our channel and ring the notifications bell. Also, visit our site, nethostingplans.com, for reviews of the 6 top web hosting platforms that we believe are the top, as well as articles on web hosting domains and all related things. And also below, for you, we have included a link to our free domain and website checklist. You can use this, it'll help. Be sure to grab it. That's it for now. Thanks for visiting us.